Far from that.
All right, it's 7 o'clock. We'll get started. Thank you everyone for coming out on this spring/winter night. Just to let everyone know that the meeting is being recorded or streamed live and will be recorded for public viewing. Is available on the town's YouTube page. Number 4.1. A motion here moved by Melissa, seconded by Mike. The minutes be adopted. Special Events Committee. Those confidential minutes and closed sessions of the committee remain confidential and restricted from public disclosure in accordance with the exemptions provided in the Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act. And that is referring to Special Events Committee meeting March 3rd, 2025, which is all in our package here. Everyone's had a chance to look at them. Is there any comments, corrections? Alex, hi.
Hello, everybody.
Nice deep voice, Alex.
Yeah, that is a pretty deep voice.
Seeing none, all in favor? Approved, thank you. Moving on. 5.1. Special Events Committee receive and approve the payables for February 2025 and March 2025. The motion here by Mike Nagel, seconded by Brenda, that the Special Events Committee receive and approve the payables. And they are listed in our package tonight, and that is for February and March 2025. Anyone have any questions on any of those? Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a question, the container, is it in place? Are we happy with it? Is there anything that's got to be done to it? What's the status on that?
We're considering it complete in place. We placed it in the compound now, in behind the Quonset hut. Put it up on blocking and stuff to keep it out of the moisture and ramp to the door. Provided through here with a buddy lock system on our gate so they can come and go as they need to. I guess it matches their on the container. So we're done on our part.
Good, and everybody's happy?
Looks very good, Al. Thank you to you and your crew. Looks good.
We have to do any painting on it or anything like that? Because
I'm content with it, really. It looks pretty good. I haven't seen the side, but look.
okay, good.
Anyone have any questions on the all in favor? Thank you. Sponsorship update, moving on to 6.1. It's a general sponsorship update. As of right now, we have 15,850 that has been. We do have the foundation grant of 2,500. The town budgeted amount of 7,500, carryover from 2024, 3,500, and an Enbridge Safety Day donation of 2,500. So we're starting off with 31,850. So we are very, very close to last year. So thank you for everyone for getting there. My life a little bit easier in planning. Alex, I want to talk to you maybe about platinum sponsorship recognition. Like for years, I've always felt that we should always do a little bit more for sponsorship recognition. So a couple of suggestions that I had this year, and it's easy to do, and it's there's no cost really to it, is on social media, on the Facebook account, we really plug the platinum sponsors quite heavily with links to their page maybe and stuff like that. I think that's fairly easy to do. That's one of my suggestions. And I think really this year, what would be nice to offer them for picnic in the park and the celebration of Celebration of Canada, Celebrate Canada event would be to offer platinum sponsors a spot to come and know what they have. Yes. So at the subcommittee meeting, we talked about it and we drafted a letter and you took them around, Mike. What was the reception like?
JD at Ron Clark was all over it.
Okay,
The other one, were just given to a secretary, whatever, the manager wasn't available, that they would pass them on.
now, did we have a date to reply by? I don't.
Second.
Second, okay. Okay, so it's open to them anyway. Though there's one we probably still never got to, Taylor Wales, right? I can email. Oh, he did? Okay, perfect. Good. Thanks, Mike, for looking after that. What's everyone else's thoughts on how we want to recognize the platinums?
Brad, how many platinum sponsors do we have? Just roughly.
There's
A lot.
roughly 10 counting foundation and bridge.
10 or 11 anyway, yeah.
What is the platinum range? What's all the figures? Is that over 2,000?
1,000.
Over 1,000?
But the letter that went out was only for picnic in the park. May 24th.
There's 12. 12 sponsors. Yeah, because the Easter event, we don't have the room to do it at. The Halloween event, we don't have the room to do it at. And I guess the way I look at the Christmas event, there's no room, simple fact, we're hated, but also it's more of a community group event. There's just no room.
Well, perhaps at that event, Brad, what we could do is, maybe do some more thank yous like on the speakers when we're talking to people and
Sure.
an extra large, a big thank you to the folks that, these company, this company. That might be the better way to go for that event.
I know last year we had, I had made a big board for the gold and platinum sponsors. As soon as you walked in, it was kind of a huge one right there. But I agree, maybe a little bit more verbal than
Yeah.
that might, yeah, no, that's good.
Are we gonna have a banner of some sort at every event that's going to acknowledge all levels of sponsorship?
Yeah.
Like what we had at the fall fair last year, the Halloween party, sorry.
Yeah. A big one. It
Yeah.
scheduled to be printed Monday or Tuesday.
Perfect.
Going to. So on that note, is there any one that anyone's talked to that is on the fence?
I've got one that might go platinum. I will know later this week.
Okay, and this is what we talked about.
That's the one we were talking about earlier today.
Alex, do you have any that you know of?
No, but if you can send me the logos of the platinum, Brad, we can certainly do like individual posts to tag them for at least some sort of Facebook amplification. Because I think all but one of our platinums, I think, have a Facebook page. I don't know if DD Con does, but we can at least make individual posts and tag them in it at some point.
Okay. Anybody else have anything on sponsorships? Moving on, storage update. Again, thank you, Al, and your crew. It looks really good. So they moved it and turned it around. Nice little ramp, by the way. That's quite nice. There was 6 sets of keys that were purchased. I have with me tonight, I think. Over there. How does this buddy lock system work?
Just when the chain at the gates, you just make sure the 2 locks are interlinked.
Yep.
You don't lock to the chain itself, you just interlink them.
Okay.
We can open up our lock, we open up the gate, you guys open up your lock, you can open up the gate.
So I don't know who all wants a key, but the town, do you want a list of who has the keys for It's place not.
Is it possible to leave a key here at the office in case one of us who doesn't have a key? I don't know.
There is,
First,
Yeah,
I
there
have
is
one,
one.
yeah.
so when we go to start to move stuff in, it's probably the opportune time to do inventory of what each of us have been storing in our garage, just so we kind of know where. Then you were saying, so you could maybe label them or something.
Yeah, I can label them. I don't know where we're at with bins. I don't know if we're planning on doing this in the next couple weeks, if the weather warms up a bit, if we want to maybe put a motion through for a couple $100 on bins, just in case we need some more stuff in there. It might make sense.
We don't have one prepared, but can we do that? Have just an option for a couple $100 in our bins if we need it. What do you figure? That'd be enough to get us going.
Yeah.
I got one or two still.
Yeah, so even 200 should be fine, yeah. So at least get what we have organized and in better shape, and yeah.
So you're gonna move that?
Yeah.
Okay, seconder for that? Ingrid, all in favor? Group, thank you. And then that way, at least we kind of know where stuff is. I just also want to say that the committee, we've been incredibly busy coordinating 4 events concurrently. So I know it's a lot of work on all our parts to kind of plan for 4 events all at once, but it's just the way it has to be. So again, thank you for everyone's part in this.
We can have a day that we're gonna move everything to the trailer.
Nice warm day would be good.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. So what I was thinking is if there's a day we do that, I can meet somebody, whoever's coming in on that day, and I can write down what we're getting. I can do up a database, a listing of everything. I can create labels for all the totes or boxes, whatever the case may be, and have them ready to go.
Well,
Let me know.
we'll go in the chat, I guess, and talk about what's gonna work for
Absolutely.
everybody.
Yeah, let me know if you need anything.
And the inside out, it was pretty decent, right?
I found it to be in good shape. It was brightly painted. Like a white gray type color inside it, and then some hooks on it already.
Shelves?
No shelves,
So,
but there's like lashing type hooks where you can tie things off.
And there was vents, I believe you said.
There are vents in there.
Easter extravaganza, that is coming up. Let's hope the weather warms up. At the last subcommittee meeting, we went over this fairly in depth. And I will say, I think we're in fine shape for the event. So I just would like to go around the table and make sure that we are all okay. Joe, Candy, all good, right?
Yep, candy's all good and Mike has it. So I don't have to look at it and be tempted.
How many did you give them?
294.
How many?
we're gonna count them, Mike, to make sure.
How many do you still have?
50.
Very little extra left, so
Okay,
it's happy.
and I think I saw that was 325 for the candy.
I think so. It's about that, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
You allowed
Yeah,
550,
but-
so, okay, good.
Yeah.
And what else did you do for that? That you were looking after, or just the candies?
Just the candy and the face painting, I just wanted to bring up. I will do the face painting. I will do the bunny nose and whiskers. I would like to express so that the temporary tattoos, I totally agree. I think they're a great idea. What I don't agree with is having the kids decide one or the other. The reason that the tattoos were brought up was to, at least as far as I understood, was to help lessen the lineup of the face painting.
Hmm.
And so in order to do that, the kids would have to choose. I don't think this venue is a place where the kids should have to choose. I'm all for getting kids to choose at home, in a store kind of thing. But when you get into a place like that and stuff, we don't want kids getting upset. So the temporary tattoos still, to me, are a fabulous idea. But I don't think they should be brought in with the intention of helping to lessen the lineup, so.
And
I don't think the intention was to bring both in. It was just to do the bunny face painting and then perhaps for the picnic in the park or the Celebrate Canada, maybe an option. That was.
Oh, well,
just-
yes, in that case, 100%. That's not how I interpreted it, but yeah, sure.
none of us
Let's
wanted
bring
to
it in for
step
the
on.
other events. Mhm.
None of us wanted to step on your toes with face painting at all. That's
Well-
not how we were intending. it.
No, and I wasn't taking it that way. I just thought this is not, it wasn't the place, so I misinterpreted, but as far as the other events, 100% bring in the temporary tattoos and the kids will love them.
Supplies, you're all good with
Oh,
what
yeah.
you need? Hubby's got it all looked after?
Mhm.
Hubby's got it all looked after?
Nothing. Hubby doesn't even know where they are, let alone.
Come on.
It's okay. I'll play it back for him.
Yeah. Ingrid, you're good with everything?
Absolutely. I think the idea though, the temporary tattoos, let's say at Canada Day, you know, we get the little flags on the faces, things like that. I think that's definitely a great way to go. But I do like the face painting, you know, for the little bunny faces. I think that'll be wonderful. And I agree. You don't want to have the kids choosing. So I'm in agreement with Jill that will keep them separate. I think there's a place for both types of events to happen, just not simultaneously.
You have signed Jill or just let them know that that's all they're getting. Charlene, everything good? Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get too warm.
You might want to, yeah.
Just as an FYI for you, that there is an advanced poll on that day. And just so everybody knows, it's going to be in the boardroom. They'll have signs appropriately directing people. So do not panic if you see those signs there. We do have the hall. So it's still available.
So they're still coming in the main door?
I'm not sure how they may be directing it towards the back. They can come in from the west side, correct, Adam?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's all been set with Elections Canada, so.
Or the merrier.
Maybe they'll stay for the event.
We'll stay for the event.
That's right.
Perfect. Okay, good. Thanks for the.
Didn't want anybody panicking when they see the election signs there.
Okay, no, it's on, Brenda, you're all good with, you got the banner? What else were you looking after? Sorry.
Just kind of the stage setup.
Gordon. All. You got your toolkit?
Hey,
You got your toolkit?
yeah, I got my toolkit.
Mike, everything's good? Okay. You're all good? Alex? Are you
Yeah.
gonna be there?
Yeah, I'll be there, and the ad's been running. I think we're at like 260 responses on the Facebook event.
Nice.
I was one of them.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that. That's good.
Need more candy.
So, sorry, I know the egg producers are gonna do something. I'll
Yep.
try to get a hold of Alicia and just see if I have an idea what she's come up with.
Okay.
I don't think it involves anything for us, but just so we kind of know for planning where they'll be indoor or.
Well, I have thought about that. I really hope the weather is much nicer than it is now. I'd hate to have people outside, but I mean. What they cannot do. So I guess as soon as you know, Brenda, just shoot it up to the group and then. I do have coloring pages as well. You've got the cans. Trustee Chris is scheduled. He's going to do bunny creations or, sorry, Easter creations only. I told him to no more than 2 or 3, just to save time. Everything is good with the farm. Have anything different? And we're going to meet at 9 o'clock, right?
Was that up, you mean? On the day of?
Yeah. Music, you got music.
And I did follow up with the optimist, just to make sure everything's good with them. They haven't responded, but as soon as.
Gotta keep that one busy.
So in that respect, then Alex probably will let people know that food is by donation,
By cash donation?
the cash donation. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put something up there in the actual event page because they have a notification every time there's a post.
Does anybody know, do the optimists have a email address for donations or no?
As far as I know.
Maybe I'll double check with them just in case, because if they did, I know not everyone always has cash, so.
Yeah, I do think they can do e-transfer. I think they've done it before.
Maybe I'll ask them just because if it would be nice to have that on a sign if it's available, because they may get more donations.
Can they take debit card or anything for food? No, I just cash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alex, we could also probably use some volunteers, I think,
The
for,
one volunteer that we have always had take care of the outside games is not. We do need volunteers.
I think,
I'll work on my grandkids again, but they seem to have their total hours they need. That's the problem.
we could use probably 4 or 5 volunteers for the
I'll work on them.
day, so.
Adam, your kids all topped up with hours?
No, but unfortunately, we have family over much of the weekend on Easter, so we won't be available.
I can put my husband on that list for one volunteer.
I'll check with you.
Yes, I'm doing.
Okay.
You're a really good shepherd of what time.
Anybody have anything else for the Easter event? Because this is the last discussion about it.
Just if it's very successful again.
Yep.
Do we just kind of play it by ear like last year? If we run out of candy, we're making a mad dash or?
I think that makes the most sense. Like Shoppers was pricier to buy the candy from, but it was close and open. I don't think there's much else we can do because we're gonna we're gonna get today's stuff for the candy. I mean, we could get some extra. Then we could check what the expiry date is on the candy to see if we buy it now, if it's still gonna be good for next year.
Mike, you've got some extras at home. You check on the bag and see if there is an expiry date. If there is, then I can go into town and just buy a few more bags so we can just hand them to the kids. If they're gonna be good for next year.
Brights Grove is this weekend
Yeah,
and the Legion last year who did something are not doing it.
they're doing a breakfast.
But no egg hunt or anything.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing it.
Sarnies is doing an egg hunt.
That same day.
I don't know if they've released all their details yet, though. So I do usually their Easter egg hunt is a last minute announcement, I feel like.
Yeah, the only reason I know is because.
We did do some nut-free bags, right?
Yes.
There's only a dozen though. I don't know if that's great. However, most of the candy really is nut free, and I would think that if a child gets a regular bag, mom is gonna know what's in there that's not
And
free.
we've also got like the McDonald's French fry coupons and stuff too still, so like we could.
Yeah, we could be giving those out if.
Yeah. If we ran out of candy or if
Yeah, because there's a lot of them.
I'm not seeing anything on Facebook of any events on the same day as us. There's Alvinston's doing theirs this weekend as well. And Corona's doing this Sunday.
That's the last, aren't
And then there's like he's mentioned earlier, the breakfast, well, that's it, the Legion. I don't see anything else coming up that's going to have any impact on us. So everything looks like we nailed a good date anyway.
Good.
That's good.
Mike, I think you have the McDonald's coupons back there in the gray bag.
Okay.
So do you want to make sure that
we? We also have,
candy?
oh, no, those those Easter left over, was it from the chocolates? Last year? We still. did we
They're in the
appropriate that?
bags.
You know what we do have though is those chocolate dipped Oreos they've left over still.
Some of those left over?
There's
In your mom's fridge?
they went to my mom's freezer, so yeah. I wonder if maybe, I don't know, Ingrid, how far you are from the event. If you
Like across the road.
if you have space in your freezer, maybe want to pop those in your freezer, because then if we need them.
Yep. No
Close
problem.
enough that we-
An extra refrigerator freezer in my garage as well as downstairs, so no problem. You let me know what you need.
I think we've got about 150 of those, so
Oh,
that would
well,
tie us over. for-
Between that and the McDonald's, we don't need extra candy.
Those the white ones.
I think it's white that's left. It's either white that's left or red that's left. I have to go and check.
I wondered, just it's not very expensive, but even if we got some Easter stickers and you could stick a little Easter sticker on the packaging, kind of call it an Easter treat because it's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jill, are you headed into Sarnia anytime in the next?
Between now and Easter,
If
we'll-
you wanna just pick up some Easter stickers at the
Stickers.
store, just a couple pages, yeah.
It's like inch, no more, half inch.
Yeah,
just something to throw on and it.
Yeah.
looks
something
pretty.
that's gonna show up.
Yeah.
We have any, I've noticed that we were talking originally about doing a basket that people could draw tickets for. Did we do something with that?
So Stephanie is gonna be donating a basket full of Easter baking, I guess, maybe I'll say. And she's bringing it out that morning.
Oh, perfect.
Can you do a sign or something to promote it? Yeah.
Was Jen doing one too from the,
No, I think we held her off till another, she's fine with that. Balance the ballot box, right? You know, Mike, you have to know where the balance of the ballot box is.
yeah, I've got it.
Can we call Easter done? Um. In the park, safety day. Planning for the event is well underway in all portions of it. The park will be full. Definitely, so let's pray that the weather is decent, the grass is short and the bugs are non-existent. Food vendors that I have confirmed, Bubbles Ice Cream, OMG Poutine, and the seasonal truck at McCabe Park.
we have a seasonal truck.
Parks Oregon.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Check. Yes. Nicole.
We do have feelers out for pizza. One way or the other, I have a feeling they will be there, right?
So too.
We have reached out to Wyoming Lions to see if they will be bringing their normal booth, but I haven't got any response from them yet. I would assume they would, but I need an answer one way or the other. I think that's more than enough food. Really. Thoughts on that, okay?
Were they like hot dogs, hamburgers, normal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rides have all been confirmed and I will coordinate with you, Nicole, to get a check for the week of. Music confirmed.
Or May 24th?
Yeah. An hour and a half to 2 hour stretch. The town's float, is it be available?
It will be.
A couple things that we would need to know that, Alan, you can just text me whenever. We need to know the length of it and just the width of it. The reason being, we might just put a banner along the side for decoration or something like that, so we just need to know. We don't want it to be 18 feet by a 15-foot banner. That's all. And I will get you a list, kind of everything that we need for that event, like normal, when we get there. Washrooms and hand wash stations. So I worked with Nicole a while ago. She did get a quote for a combined quote, I guess it was roughly 1,300, something like that. that's gonna change again, so. Um. And the reason being is since it's now, the Celebrate Canada is gonna be out in Kamlooka, we really don't feel we need washrooms out there because we're gonna have inside the building and as well as the other ones outside, right? There's two, Gord?
There's a couple outside.
Outside, okay. We don't feel we need washrooms out there, but we need hand wash stations. So I'll once I do some space planning with the group, I'll send you kind of maybe what we need. Community groups, Jill drafted a letter, sent it out to all the community groups, old ones and new ones, to invite them to our event. Where did the responses go? Back to you or just the general email? The committee?
I guess back to me. That's what happened last time and it was, I just kind of updated the letter, so, yeah,
Back to you.
it's me, yeah.
Do you remember? I know we talked about it a couple times.
And I also asked for a reply by May the 2nd. So. Twelve or 13.
Okay. Good. And we did reach out to Masons.
Yeah, any words that, I understand that the wheels are in motion for that. Should there be any, their name listed on there or anything like that, so people know that they can get identified? Advising. The Masonic chip.
We never have, but we can for sure.
It's the first time we've done this here, so that's. I'm just asking if people know that it's there.
Does the Masons have like standardized stuff? that
There
they-
is a standardized one for that, for the Masonic chip. And I can make the connections work for you, Brad, to get that if you like.
Yep, sure. That'll work. Appreciate that.
I haven't heard back anything, so once I hear back from, sent out 2 emails.
Send it. Oh, we can talk after on that, Jill.
Okay. And so once I hear back from either or.
This is a different than the group organizational thing. Like what thing that, are you talking about the one like they had at the Legion, that type of, to invite the groups to that?
Yes, the community groups that.
Right, this is another thing besides that. This is like a child identification.
Right, but they would still be partaking within the community groups at the picnic.
Possibly, but probably near the OPP because they're in conjunction with.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fine, yeah. I'm just putting them in with, with that, so. As far as the emails and stuff, so.
What is the name of that particular thing? That
Masonic chip.
Sonda chip?
MASON, capital CHIP.
Yeah, so we'll put them over by the safety day stuff then. Okay,
I'll get that connection for you, Brad.
perfect. Volunteers for that event. Wouldn't hurt to have some for sure. At this point, I haven't got a clue how many we're going to need. I believe there might be 2 that might need for bouncies, or the right portion of it. Lot, but we'll figure that one out, I guess, when we get there. Everything else will be before we know. The safety day portion of the event, all letters were sent out to all people from previous years and some new ones. So the participants confirmed, there's quite a few actually. Both people will be there, with a much larger display. So I don't know if anyone went to Burton and kind of saw what they had there. Some of the stuff that they had there will be there, in fire department. I think Alex and Derek, you guys were all good. Yep, perfect. Enbridge, yes, we'll be there. Victim Services out of Sarnia will be there. And Hanifin Family Counseling Center will be there. The other ones that we did ask were, and I haven't heard back yet, but I could almost guarantee the majority of them are gonna be there. Transport Canada, Office of Marine Safety, Hydro One, you did reach out to them, okay? Federal and provincial representatives, I did reach out to both of them. So I'm just gonna say yes. They'll be there. Agnes from Plympton Farm Safety.
Haven't heard back at all from her. Or her seat.
Okay. You're on top of that one? Good. Crime Stoppers, possibly. Lambton Stride Club Burn Awareness. Emergency Management Ontario, Adam, I think you had mentioned something to them.
I did mention that to our CEMC, who's a former officer with emergency management, and he said he would take care of that. I'll follow up with them.
Okay. And I know last year we kind of talked that you always thought the town of Wyoming should be involved. Do we leave space, or are you not there yet?
I need to talk with that, with senior management and some politicians to determine how we go about that.
Okay.
I am not gonna be there that day, unfortunately, so want to volunteer people, staff and counselors or something, and then say bye. Have fun.
We have the water truck confirmed for that day?
I believe so. I sent that to Aqua and I forwarded that to confirmation email. I can double check that, make sure I did. But yes, the Aqua did say the water wagon will be there.
Yeah, I think at Good Roads Aqua, they had those 2 dates in their head.
So if all of the community groups come, all of the safety day groups come, we're gonna have a full park, which is really good. Definitely good. If the weather is as cooperative as it has been all the way along, we should have an incredibly good turnout.
Should we have someone reach out to the Legion and ask if their parking lot's gonna be available to us? Remember the first year there was a wedding? No, sorry, it was a memorial service. It just came up that week, remember? Not that that took up a lot, but it was something to be concerned about, because we didn't want to take up their parking spots, but it's always nice seeing that so close to the park. We can park there.
Would that be Dawn? I would kind of answer that one.
Well, Dawn's been taking all of our inquiries. I don't know if it's supposed to be here or not, so.
I think isn't Tara Mayer, the secretary or the treasurer there? What about Connor? He's the president.
Yeah, I guess
Probably wouldn't hurt to go through the president, just my thought.
wouldn't hurt. It's just the only reason I said Dawn is because when we were at the thing at the Legion, she approached us to let her know kind of what we need from them, and I guess that's kind of where that materialized from. But if you don't get anywhere with Dawn, because I know you've already got a couple things into them already, right?
Yeah, and yeah, I've asked her what three different things, and they were gonna have a meeting the next night. That was last week, and I still haven't heard back from her.
Okay.
So
So maybe I'll talk to you and then we'll fire something through Connor. Okay. And for advertising for that, I know we are definitely way off for it now. Oh, can you just pull up the one flyer? Actually, there's 2 flyers there. One's for the safety day and one is for, these are dry. These are really rough. But it was just something so that we could kind of have a feel for what would be happening. So there's the safety day one, kind of simple, but keep it the same flavor of yellow, so it kind of matches the other event. And when the time is right, I will double check all the bottoms with you, for the sponsors there. So that's just kind of the rough one for the safety day. Then the other one for the picnic park. And same flavor as what we've always used. That's kind of what people look for.
Good question. Are we gonna be doing face painting? Because if we're not, then we need to change that one picture in there.
Okay.
I think it probably makes sense to, in my 2 cents at least, to do the face painting for the picnic in the park and then see if we can find some like bigger glittery tattoos for the Canada Day.
Now, I'm just saying we gotta pick one or the other, but we don't want to advertise something we're not going to be having at the event. So we're still okay with the face painting for this one, is that right?
Do you, Jill?
Let me see if I can get some for sure.
Good point.
Before our subcommittee meeting this
Okay.
month. And then,
Okay. Yeah, no, good point, Ingrid, for sure. So again, and we have, we'll scroll up just a little bit, Nicole, we have the Broadway Service Express. That's, I would fairly certain that's a go, right? You just have to total up confirmation. Okay, so that's, like I said, those are just rough ideas right now, but if we don't keep on top of it, then it's gonna pile up at the end. For the paper, I said at the one subcommittee meeting, we're gonna do a half page roughly for the ad for the picnic in the park / safety day event, because Enbridge did give us a fair amount for the grant, and I really think that because there's not a lot of other stuff that we need to be a part of, definitely advertising for them, I think, is more important. So that's the reason for that. Anything else at this point? I don't have any numbers to do for approval of what we need. I think we still have time anyway next month to do it. So I think now actually we know everything we're getting, so I can give you some numbers that we can discuss then.
You gonna go back to back flyer with those or?
Probably yes.
Or could we do like legal?
I don't like doing legal for the simple fact a lot of places will not take anything over 8.5, 11. It's an extra 3 inches, but that really seems to have a problem. So I'd rather just do a back to back, or where we post it, we'll just do 2 single-sided flyers side by side. We'll be doing some stuffers for in town here, as well as for my key area. Not mail, but just post office, or not post office, but I mean convenience stores or grocery store. We'll figure those numbers out later though. I just want to touch base kind of on where we're at with that event, I guess, right now.
those flyers, back to back. Is the date clear on them? Are people gonna look at one and say, oh, look, there's a safety day, and then oh, look, there's a picnic in the park? And think that they're 2 different events? That's my only,
Well, it's
I mean, they can double check the data.
it's
Is there anywhere on each one that
right at the top.
incorporates them?
Exact same spot right at the top.
Okay.
So we could modify it slightly to say, flip over for the extra added event or something this year, you know, we could say something like that, maybe
2 events in one.
2 events in one. Yeah,
If it was me, I'd think there were 2 different days. I'll check the date.
Celebrate Canada event. Can you pull up that flyer then, Nicole? Again, this is really rough and kind of a work in progress based on what we know come right now. That event is June 21st, 11 to 3, Community Center. First off, the one thing we can take off on the top right-hand corner would be the, hopefully, right, would be the pirate ship probably can come off. There may be a possibility with we're gonna have the train again, the same train that we've had at for the picnic in the park event, and we have a sponsor to cover that event. It's just that's kind of the work in progress. The other thing too that we'll be taking over the parking lot for the community center is a retro car event.
Gonna be very cool. I think that's gonna draw a lot of people out, just that event alone. That's a lot of people who are interested.
It's just pure coincidence that he walked into my office when I was working on the flyer and he said, "Do you need somebody out there?" And I says, "What do you got?" And
Love it.
yeah, it could be at least 100 cars. I said, "What kind of people do you attract?" He says 300-400 is not uncommon. So that's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
If the Optimists are going to be running the bike rodeo, because we still don't have official confirmation, right?
No, I'm hoping we will soon though. I did reach out to them to see if they are short volunteers, how many, to see
Yep.
if we can kind of cover that off.
Okay.
Because it would be nice to see both of these. Go ahead.
There's one thing that was pointed out to me, by them, said. Your kids are coming for the bike rodeo. Now they want to participate in the show and they bikes.
We just had them park, like, we just had like a spot to just leave their bikes. I mean, they're gonna have to, like, most kids aren't gonna end up biking their bikes there. Imagine a lot will end up driving them anyway, so if people are worried about having their bikes stolen, they could go back in their parents' car. I mean,
Behind the stage too.
yeah, but I mean, realistically, if somebody's gonna walk back there and take a bike and we're not gonna. Wait, like, I don't know if that's your kid's bike or this kid's bike or whose bike it belongs to. If somebody walks out of there with a bike, I'm gonna assume it's theirs. Unless they tried to walk out of there with 10.
Unless we have a volunteer with it, if it. With a ticket kind of thing, but then if the kids lose their ticket, then.
Yeah, I mean, in Wyoming, kids always just left their bikes and nobody ever lost it. I can't imagine somebody's gonna like. I can't imagine some kid's gonna walk all the way to the community center just in hopes to steal a bike and back.
I have to agree with you, but it was a concern that was brought up to me.
We did have a designated bike parking spot. I feel like if we even just said park the bikes by some sort of community group, it will probably deter most people from taking anything. But, yeah.
In the triathlon, nobody who kind of ties up their bikes.
And those were much more expensive.
So we do have space allowed in case they do happen to run the bike demonstration event. So the plan for the grounds is going to be everything from the museum all the way over to the community center. So that will be a full park as well in there, which would be nice to have that for sure.
There's no events going on at the community center that weekend at all, correct?
Oh, right, for that my first.
Okay.
Sorry, can we pull up a map of the area for a second? Where are planning on putting the beer area?
So if you want to pull up the AGCO one, yeah, right in there. So that is the area that's in between, you got the little pavilion, I guess, and then you got fencing on both sides there for the ball diamond.
Oh,
The fencing will kind of act as the secure area. We'll just need a couple of snow fences and something for the north and south end. Signage and all that I've already got anyway. So that's kind of the outdoor area for the beverage refreshment area, and Gord did get an answer from Stone Pickers and they are
They're
happy to attend.
happy, and I'm waiting for an answer from Kim Lyons with regard to the CAA opening up their booth. She hasn't confirmed it with me yet.
Oh, the canteen.
Canteen.
Okay.
I was speaking to Kim Lyons about that. And hopefully she'll open that up.
Okay.
So that's a winery you said you've got also coming for that event as well?
I haven't got a winery.
Brenda does though, right?
Well, I'm still waiting for confirmation.
Which one are you dealing with?
Shale Ridge.
Okay, if not, let me know and I might know somebody might be able to fill a spot for wine.
sorry, can we? I'm having a hard time understanding where this is.
So the brown building at the very bottom is the library,
Oh,
and then the very top parking lot, that is a community center. So that's kind of like the whole walkway path.
Oh, okay, that's
Building at
perfect,
the
yeah.
bottom is the canteen and storage building for the CAA. The playground equipment is beside the library on the north side.
Perfect.
Okay.
Very happy, excellent. I wasn't sure, because I was like, what is like, is this like all off on its own, or is it, I just wanted to make sure that it was kind of.
You see the painted lines in the bottom of the parking lot there, right at the bottom of the page for the community center. So it's right off the parking for the community center.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is the north end at the bottom. I see it now. Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. Does anyone know what I was looking at?
I have no idea.
I just nod a lot and don't say, okay, because I'm no sense of direction whatsoever.
So when the weather gets nice, we'll do like a site visit and just kind of go through the place, just like we hopefully will before picking the park, and we just kind of lay things out and mentally think about it.
And we do have a ton of ID bands somewhere. We
Yes.
do need to find before then, but we have lots of time.
At the overflow parking at the church. It's been agreed to, and overflow parking at the tree mill. However, we have to make sure that we give her access to her warehouse until she closes at about 1 or 2.
So in regards to the bar, obviously we need a license for it. And it's still 30 days out, Nicole, at least, right?
Usually.
I know this is lots of time, but we'll put this through now. So I've got a motion here, moved by Gord, seconded by Melissa, that the Special Events Committee approves submitting an application to the AGCO in the amount of $150 to obtain the liquor license for the Celebrate Canada event. And that just allows Nicole to do what she has to do and get it in on time. Everyone okay with that? Any discussion? All in favor?
Yeah.
Brad? Yeah, I've been dwelling on the picnic in the park flyer, and one thing that jumped out at me is, would it be better to do a common logo, keeping it as the 4th annual community spirit picnic in the park, where you have the club organization and information booths? If that little piece could be maybe made a bit larger, and then you could put in there club organization and public safety information booths. It might be and encompass everything,
Tie them together.
and then you can have the same kind of joint logo on both sides of the page, so you don't get that confusion of 2 events.
Music, I know one of the things that we had Legion about was to see, because they kind of wanted to partner with us on some things, but we thought they've got a lot of contacts in music, and we kind of left that with them. They were discussing it.
Yes.
And we haven't heard back, right? Okay, so we do have time, but not a lot of time. So maybe we'll reach out to Connor then on that one. See if they can contribute in any way, or if not, we'll go to our old faithful list of people. Again, Al will need this float for that as well. I'll get you your list of stuff as well for that event. Rides are all confirmed. The other thing too that went over really, really well 2 years ago is we did cupcakes. We did 300 cupcakes through Foodland, and Jill already checked it out, and they're available at $1 a piece, which I think is quite reasonable. Well, 2 years ago. I'm okay doing cupcakes again for that event. I think it's just kind of a nice touch. Sarnia does it with cake. And these are just thoughts that have kind of been bounced around the committee. But we can make decisions on that as time gets closer. One of the other things that was brought up that might be a good idea, seeing that June 21st is also National Indigenous Peoples Day, we wondered if have someone from the committee reach out to some of the contacts to gauge the receptiveness for the community. And I think Gord, you were going to.
I sent an email to Kimberly Brissett, who's the chief of the Kettle and Stony Point band. She has yet to respond to me.
And then one of the other suggestions was to have maybe an Indigenous craft booth there, maybe showing some of their wares. That was one of the other
That's
options.
a great idea.
As soon as I get in touch with Kimberly, I'll send her another email because I only sent her, I think it was Thursday last week. But she hasn't responded to me yet.
It doesn't have to be anything long. It's just, to me, it's the right thing to do, I guess. See what you can get, I guess, in that choice.
Right, I'm wondering if we can get a definite answer on the cupcakes so I can order them from Steph, get back to her with colors and whatever, but if we want them, seeing that it's such a big number,
Yep.
I think the farther she knows about it, the better it is, the farther in advance.
Are we all in favor of the cupcakes? Is that okay with everybody?
I'll give her a call tomorrow.
Okay.
And that was for 300?
Yeah. I don't think we had any left over, did we, Mike? Because you and I manned that booth.
Fireman ended up.
Well, that's why there wasn't anything left. You guys were in charge.
We say.
Quality control.
Yeah.
We certainly didn't throw any out. There was a few left right at the end, but they still got gobbled up. So yeah,
Yeah.
Fireman was on.
they went over well.
They did go over well. Alex, I feel like I'm leaving you out. Do you have any questions on any of this stuff?
No, so far so good.
Sorry about that. Summer event opportunity. So one of the things that actually in discussion with Retro Car Event, he kind of showed me some of the events that they've done in the area. They used to be called something else, now called Retro Car Event. Some of the things that they had done, and some of the activities that kind of go along with it. I thought this would be a good fit. So anyway, I was doing a drum hit for my cousin, and he plays with a group, and it's called Frankie and the Fairlanes, and they have been in this area. They're a 50s and 60s group. And I just kind of at Ron's kitchen table one morning, I thought we could coordinate in the park with a retro car event show and a 50s and 60s music show, all free. And we were going to see about the Legion again, partnering with them on some portion of maybe a fee for the band. And we might throw in one or two other food vendors like either Blanchet Candy if they're available, or maybe Martin with Bubbles. Just another summer event, maybe in July or August, a nice summer night. We kind of all work together. Again, this is just all very preliminary. I really don't have any more details on that. The only thing that would cost would be the band, and I've yet to hear back from him, but last word was might be 1,200, but even if we split that with the Legion, like there's enough money kind of built in buffers through the budget to allow extra things like this. So it's just food for thought more than anything right now. Yeah, I guess that's all I had to say on that one.
This car group, where are they from? I've never heard of them.
They used to be Sarnia Street Machines.
Okay, they changed the name.
Some of the people have left Sarnia Street Machines and formed their own. For one reason or another. So
Doesn't happen, does it?
huh?
That doesn't happen, does it?
So anyway, they are very busy with events coming up. So anyway, it's just maybe a fit to something kind of nice and free for the summer. And I keep thinking to what Petrolia had at the market. I don't know if it was last year or not. They had, the place was just packed solid with just music. But it also kind of fills in that niche that Jill was always wanting me to look at when she first came on board was the, not to say that you're a senior, Jill, but you know, the
True.
seniors, stuff. She's like, I did that.
Kind of on the edge there, isn't it?
Oh, well, I've got both feet in now.
So again, it's just food for thought more than anything right now. If it's something that you think you might like me to pursue, I can get some more detail, but there's not a lot more to get, but I mean, I definitely can, and I can see what works with McKay Park schedule, what works with Frankie and Fairlane schedule, and what works with the retro card event. So trying to fit 3 things into something that makes it work might be a little bit difficult, but I can come back with some ideas for you if you'd like.
I love the idea, and especially that if it works out well, then it can just be an annual thing too. Because it's an easy thing.
Well, maybe that'd be something we should maybe look at doing in September.
It's just fair season. That's the only thing. There's
Good too, of course.
I feel like it's not a bad idea for, like, I know we're trying to shy away from like big summer events,
Yeah.
but like a Saturday after, like a Saturday afternoon, evening thing, I feel like.
No, I think it'd be wonderful.
In September?
No, in like July,
July,
August,
August, somewhere in there.
when the weather's nicer and you can walk around and.
Yeah, maybe mid to late August would be nice. It spreads things out a little bit too. Before the fall fairs.
Tractor pulls to August, too, right?
Yeah, we got tractor pull the end of August.
Oh,
In August.
It's doable. It's just-
I'm moving this.
It's absolutely
Aren't
doable.
you?
You're just gonna be really trying to find that one random Friday, Saturday, or Sunday evening that doesn't have anything planned within a 15-minute drive type thing.
Yeah, I mean, the other option too is we try to do it for like late June, not the last week in June, but like while school's still going on.
You've already got that lucky that.
yeah, we got June 21st.
Right,
To do June.
Is there anything wrong with if the weekends are all booked up? Or is there anything wrong with having it on a weeknight during the summer?
Friday night type thing. I thought of that. Probably not.
Don't think
And
so.
that's just, I'm sure it's. not
Later
a
on in
problem
the
for
summer,
car
they're
club.
lazy nights, you know, the things so, and they're long, so.
I'm sure it's not a problem for the car club. It would just be the band.
Yeah.
But they're all somewhat from the area, so it's not too bad.
I think it's when getting into July and August, we're looking at vacation time too, where a lot of people are away.
Yeah, but you're gonna run into that with weekends too.
It's just, like I said, food for thought. Okay, I'm gonna move on to 6.7 Wyoming Foundation discussion. So we did receive $2,500 from Community Foundation grant for Christmas decorations / enhancements to Santa's sitting area, correct? And we did look at a 3-meter LED walk-through ornament that Santa could sit in. I did manage to get a phenomenal price. The shipping was a bit of a headache. I did manage to get that somewhat worked out, but then of course, we all know someone that come along and put a kibosh to a lot of tariffs and stuff that right now, I would just kind of tend to shy away from that particular thing right now for a variety of reasons. So I do have another option. Well, if you can pop the tent up, this will be a dual purpose thing, actually. So, speaking of tents, we do have an issue with our one tent, and we've been trying to Band-Aid it all year. It's not really heavy enough for the amount of times that we've had to go up and down over 3 years, or it might be 4 years, actually, right?
No, it's
3 years.
we got it year 2.
Year 2, okay. So anyway, this tent, through work, it is very heavy duty, not heavy, but I mean heavy duty built. 10 by 15, is that okay, Adam? That's not a special.
That's chief building official.
That's bigger than an event tent.
It's a retractable tent. It's not a tent that's legally, I don't, it's probably fine.
We know, Guy.
But- So here's what I'm thinking of for dual purpose. So if we we can print on 3 sides of the tent, both sides. We can actually print on 4 sides, but I mean, I'd rather prefer to leave the front open. So print on both left and right and the back and the canopy at the top. So this is just an idea I threw together the other day to make it look like a location for Santa to sit in. And then maybe we'll have the ladies do their decorating that you normally would with whether a tree or whatever, right? And then it's just maybe a little bit better than sitting in the corner of the sidewalk.
Anything would be better than the sidewalk.
Thank you. So the other thing, if we were to use this, and I got the quote from the guy. If we use the whole tent, take away the sides, obviously at Picnic in the Park, we don't need the sides. We can't have Santa Claus on the top, but we get another canopy with just our logo on it, for the events committee. And maybe in some town colors around the drop down portion around the sides. Everything said and done for that particular tent, I haven't finalized yet, but it's about $2,650. Everything said and done. And we have 2,500 for a community foundation. And it takes care of the problem that we have with our current tent.
Can we print on the inside of the roof to make it look like a roof?
That you can't. No, I did inquire, but no, you can't.
You need a projector to
Yeah.
put something up if you really wanted to.
So that's a thought that I was trying to satisfy the grant, I guess, request.
Sorry to, just a thought. If we put that tent in that corner where we had it before, you remember the wind is pretty strong there with that top on it. Will it be playing Mary Poppins or?
Worry.
I would hope to not have it in that corner. So I'd hope to have it on the south end of when you walk into that event and you'd go all the way to the back. And then come back up to where Santa was. I'm hoping to have it here at the back. But it has pegs that go in the ground that are probably up to 15 inches long. It's held down well. The top probably has 15 high downs on the top. They're pretty robust tents.
I just hope we don't get into, I guess I'm just sharing the fact that we do know that the wind does lift everything up, so.
I've got additional weights for my tent too. On the ground and ones that stay on the poles too.
And we do have those spiral ground things that we had for the mega tree pack. So, we can always hold it down even further. That is good. So I know what you're saying, totally, Gary, that the wind can stuff for a ride. I'm not concerned, I guess. And that is, again, this is just a thought, trying to come within price, trying to meet the community foundation grant and stay away from tariffs and all that other stuff this year.
Well, the item you were looking at originally, we not purchase that within Canada?
Well, you can, it's $30,000 in Canada, but I was able to get it from a supplier for 1,500 US.
Wow. Okay, then.
A lot of digging to find it, but I know who makes it. That's how much it is, straight from the supplier. Yeah,
It's incredible.
so, anyway, that's my thought, I guess.
We can take a couple. Or do we need?
You can if you want, yeah, there's not a great rush, there's definitely not a great rush to decide, This would be nice to have it for the picnic in the park, if we do, go with it. But no, I don't need to know tonight, it's just, this is throwing out, again, this is just my idea, trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, I guess.
Does it have to be 10 by 15?
The either,
Usual 10 by 10 is big enough for Santa. And
I just thought 10 by 10 might be a little tight by the time you get his
Sure.
chair in there and the
Tree and
Christmas tree and like the box, right at the front door, and We can, not a
But
huge
I
thing.
think once you get inside and you start putting stuff in, they are roomier than you think they're going to be.
Yeah, but why
Now,
downsize? The point.
There's not a huge difference in cost either.
Yeah.
isn't there?
Well, $250, $275. So it's not a huge difference in cost. It is a savings, but I mean,
I think go big or stay home.
well, there are times, let's say when
Good area that you have to pick up too, though. That's just it. Yeah.
we did, look, we've always been using 2 tents for picnic in the park lately. And for when we did the cupcakes, we used 2 tents there, and it's just one of those things that just seems like you could use the space, so.
If it'll fit, like you had said earlier, it would fit in that one location. I personally, I don't see why it'd go any smaller. Again, with if we go that direction, it just doesn't make sense.
And it's one of the things too, I guess, Adam, in terms of the town, if they did want to have the tent, because we're only gonna use it a couple times throughout the year. If you did need the tent, then all we had to do is just get a topper. And then you've got your tent, right? That's another option too.
You were also looking at a tent to replace for your committee events. Would you have a separate then fabric cover for those? Because you're not gonna have Christmas
Yeah.
24/7.
That's built into that cost. We'd have an extra canopy. We don't need the sides. We've never, like, the current tent, we've had sides, we've never used them.
Yeah.
But yeah, a new canopy.
Well, the cost of just that canopy be,
I'd have to actually break that down, but I don't think it's terribly pricey. I really don't, so. But I could check it out if you want, just give you an idea, anyway.
The sides of the other tent, still working, still in good condition?
Need some TLC.
Well, what I'm thinking is though, if we, like for the summer, if we wanted the sides, because obviously we don't want to use the Christmas decor, we could theoretically use that.
But yeah, there would be, there'd be 2.5 feet on each side, but it would still block some wind.
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
I've got sides for my tent that I can loan you to. So you'd have extra. You could figure out that extra too.
I'm not concerned about that, no offense, but if the wind or somebody wrecked yours, then we're kind of responsible to replace yours. That would be the only downside,
I
right?
wouldn't have mine.
Sides, I
No.
mean. If you were to lend it to the committee
Yeah.
and something went wrong with them, God forbid, but if they're yours, then we need to replace yours, right?
Right.
Whereas if we use what we already have.
No, it would be in addition to.
Oh,
but yeah.
okay.
so again, these are just my ideas to try and get something else for Christmas in the village. That satisfies the grant request and is kind of in the ballpark of what we can afford. So, again, it doesn't have to be ordered now, that again, it's just food for thought. But it could be a dual purpose or more. Yeah.
How long does it take to get roughly?
Well, 15 days maybe.
Well, that's not bad then, no.
That's pretty good.
might
Where
take
do we-
it- get you to give me a price on a 10x10 with just the town logo across the top of it.
No sides,
Pardon?
no sides. It's
Brenda, what do you think?
Like it.
Yeah.
We use it for swim, the ladies use tents at the swim meet. They always just bring their own as lifeguards. I'm sure we have many of opportunities where we've always wanted a tent, which is borrowed, so we could probably use one internally ourselves.
okay. So again, nothing needs to be decided, but it's just, I thought I'd throw that out there. Anyone else have any questions on that right now? We can throw the tent away so I can see Alex again.
How about you're still
Alex?
there?
I'm still awake over here.
Do you have any thoughts on that? Did you see, does he get to see it on his end?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, no, it looks cool. Yeah, yeah. As long as you pull the chair way a bit from the backdrop, it actually looked pretty cool in photos too.
Okay, so moving on, mega tree show. So in the budget, I did allow for 300 for the mega tree show. So last year I purchased some mega tree shows that I will then conform to the tree, and that's what provides a show. The only reason I'm throwing this in now is because I got notice yesterday afternoon that the month of April and half of May is their buy one, get one, or 50 to 75% off sale.
Love sales.
Yeah, so I was looking for the opportunity, if something comes up that is going to a decent looking Christmas show. Cause I can still use some of the ones we had last year. I just don't want to run the same shows last year. So I'm just looking if it's okay to keep an eye out for those particular shows since they're like on sale. So I do have a motion here moved by Ingrid, seconded by Jill, that the Special Events Committee approves spending $300 to obtain and make tree shows for the Christmas in the Village event. Any discussion? Like I said, I did have it budgeted for 300, so I don't think based on the prices this year, I don't think I'll come close to that. But just want to have that flexibility in case there's something that I can scoop up for a good price. Is everybody okay with that? Carried. Thank you. No reports. Number 8, correspondence, recommended reading, condolences and congratulations policy. Marion printed out the full package and it kind of talks about what that is all about, but Adam or Nicole, do you wanna?
Yeah, I can get into that. So, we've had an informal policy in place and what the does when staff committee members lose a loved one or hospitalizations or etc. So it wasn't being applied very consistently, so we decided to make it consistent by getting council to endorse a policy. So the policy is going to be pushed out to committee members, so committee members are eligible for condolences and congratulations under this policy. So if you do have a notable event in your life, if it's not immediately apparent to us, if you can let Nicole or myself know, we'll be sure to make the appropriate arrangements.
Yeah. Alex, do you have anything else?
Nothing for me, thank you.
Anyone else have anything? We have a motion then by Melissa, second, Jill, that the Special Events Committee adjourn until May 5th meeting. Favor? Carried, thank you. Everybody.
Good night, everyone.